Welcome to Stride University. In this little tutorial, we're going to go over what happens if you accidentally do what I call a fat finger while you're typing in someone's credit card. Uh, so if you do this, you'll want to fix it immediately. Otherwise, it can have implications with when you go to close. Your cash count will be off. Your customers will get charged the wrong amount, and so no one's going to go away happy. So in this instance, what I'm going to show you is what you can do to make that manual and make that adjustment there. So we're going to come in here, add a product to the cart, and go to our payment line. In this case, maybe you need to add a manual credit card. Their card wasn't reading the terminal. You had an issue with the terminal, so we're just going to go ahead and click that and go ahead and put in our credit card details here. This is just my test, so we can do whatever we want, and we'll put all that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and push, actually I'm going to discard this because I'm going to show you what would have happened if maybe I clicked here and started typing too early, or maybe I did something that changed this amount. So I'm gonna show you. I'm going to manually do this so that it really messes this up. I'm going to set this to $50. So we'll see that the total due is $13.45, but I accidentally somehow entered $50 in the manual credit card. So I'm going to add in here all of that fun stuff, and then I'm going to go ahead and click pay. Now what that does is it's charged at that point. The credit card has been charged for $50. Now you'll notice over here what happens is it says, hey, we still we owe the customer $36.55 because we have a payment for $50. And so the system wants to balance itself out because it knows that, hey, we overcharged the customer here and they only owed us $13.45. So in this case, there's not a reverse button that's already gone through. What we need to do is click the validate button, cancel, or I didn't want to print a receipt, and we need to come in and do an actual refund. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to show you. So this is that one. If you have multiple items, you'll want to return them all, or make sure that you get all these items returned. And then we're going to go back and do a refund. So you'll see here I have -1 yard of that fabric. I'm going to come into my payment, and this is where you'll want to pay attention because it's going to show you, hey, we gave them $36.55 in cash. We took from them $50 in a credit card. So when we originally tried to do this, we're going to click the manual credit card, and we're going to click $50, and now it's gonna, at this point it's saying, well, okay, something's really wonky going on. We want to make sure that we know this is a negative $50, and it immediately changes this back to process. So I really want to emphasize this. We're going to click manual credit card. The amount that it thinks it should refund is $13.45 because that's what the customer bought. That's what the item was worth. But we messed up, so we need to override that and type in $50 negative because we're giving them back that $50. So now what we can do is we're going to process that. It's going to put that $50 back on their card. So I'm going to hit process, but it won't let me validate because it's saying, hey, something's wrong. There's still $36.55 out there somewhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, that we're taking that in cash. So at this point, we've refunded them $50, and we've taken that $36.55 back in cash. Now, I know you didn't give the customer $36.55 in cash, but that's what the system does to balance itself out. So now we can validate that and cancel that. Now, what you'll want to do is at this point you'll need to do a new order for that customer and start from the very beginning. Put that 1 yard in there. You'll go to the payment, then you'll do your manual credit card, click to add those details, and then put all these details in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pay that, and now everyone's happy because there's no change due. They got charged the right amount, and we're going to do that. So now what I want to kind of show you is in the back office, what that looks like. We can hop out here. I'm going to go to accounting, and then we're going to go into payment transactions under the payment reports, and we'll notice that we have a payment transaction for 50, a return for negative 50, and you'll notice that these two orders, so here's the original order number, here's the return order, those match, and then here's the next one. So oftentimes if you make a mistake in the point of sale, you'll have to stop and think about what happened, and you'll want to reverse that entirely. Now, I know what some of you are thinking is, well, why didn't we simply refund her the difference of that $13.45 so that we don't need to take their credit card a second time? That's a great question, but the reason we don't do that is because on a credit card, what would happen is if we did it that way, the customer would get charged $50, and then the system would look at that negative what's 50 minus 13.45. I'm going to do the difference here. 36.55. It would then refund the customer 36.55, and that could take, as you know, refunds take between 3 to 5 and up to 10 business days, depending on the card issuer. Refunds are processed immediately on our end. As soon as you hit refund, it's going to go through and batch out that night. After that, it's up to the issuer. It's up to the customer's cardholder how quickly they release the funds. So imagine if you accidentally typed in 5,000 and it was only a $500 order. That's a big difference, and we want to make sure that we refund that entire 5,000 that day, so it voids the transaction. Same day voids have to be the exact amount. So if a transaction is $4,000 or $5,000 and you need to void that out, you need to make sure it needs to be refunded for $5,000 so that it voids that transaction out, and then charge the card for the $500. Otherwise, they'll get a $5,000 charge that hits their credit card immediately, and then they won't be refunded the $4,500 until several days later, possibly. So keep that in mind. That's why we do this. Don't panic in these instances. Just remember to kind of stop, think about how to reverse the process. That's why we have all that information up there. When you're in the payment screen, you can see what the original payments were for, and that way you can make sure to walk through this correctly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.